Hi guys, let's talk a little bit about the regular front kick. This is the first kick that you've learned in Krav Maga. It comes back again and again in many different situations. So let's talk about it a little. Hopefully you learn how to do the regular knee, vertical knee attack first. So something like this type of attack, where you learn how to engage the hip, raise the knee. Ideally you're going to be turning on your base foot when you perform the knee attack as well. So if I'm attacking with my right knee, my left foot should turn slightly in order to get the maximum distance out of the knee and to get the maximum power out of the hip. The regular front kick is the same thing. All it is the continuation of the regular vertical knee attack. So if you're kicking, you can use it from a lot of different positions. The basic one that you probably learned first was to step and then kick. So something like this. Okay, so as you can see, it's just raising the knee up, hip should be engaged, the knee, and then the extension of the lower leg creates the kick. Make sure when you're kicking that you're recoiling your foot back under your knee, because if you don't, how you come out in your fighting stance is going to be affected. So if you don't have enough recoil, you come out with your legs too far, and we see this a lot in the lessons. I'll show just some variations to the kick and how you can perform it. As you get a little bit better, things will get easier. So you'll have less, for example, you won't always need to step in order to give the kick like you've probably learned in your lessons. You're stepping and kicking. As you get better, you'll be able to perform the kick, for example, from this position, which is just to bring the heel to the inside, raise the knee, and then perform the kick. Probably one of the fastest ways, maybe the fastest way, to give the kick from a passive stance. This small stomping motion, people tend not to practice this one enough. People tend to make a small step and the kick, which is okay, especially at the beginning. But ideally try to get to this, where you're moving the heel to the inside. Of course, it can be performed from your fighting stance as well. So if you're like this, kicking with the back leg. Also, of course, kicking with the front leg. Kicking surfaces, we get a lot of questions about this. What exactly do you mean by the ball of the foot? Well, basically, when you're performing Krav Maga techniques, you're wearing shoes. So you're kicking with the under side of the shoe, or the point area of the shoe, which means you just need to pull the toes back. This should be aimed at the groin area of the opponent. But if you're closer to the opponent, using the high part of the shoelaces or the lower part of the shin might also be necessary. So this is what we mean. We're talking about different striking surfaces, and what you use for a striking surface will depend on the connection, the distance between you and the attacker. This is a kick that it's quite easy to learn, but you do need to practice it a lot. Make sure your hands are up. So if your hands are down when you start the kick, bring the hands up. Okay, we tend to see a lot of kicking with the hands down. So try to keep the hands up. Of course, in Krav Maga, we're always thinking about multiple attackers. Thanks a lot.
So that was this week's Technique of the Week. Members of Institute Krav Maga Netherlands go to Krav Coach for more detailed explanations.